Oh, yeah, we're going to destroy all enemies. So, happy 4th of July, everybody. It's Eric, and I'm downstairs making that Q&A video for you tonight. Just got back from having ice cream a couple hours ago with the wife and kids, and they've all been wiped down with antibacterial wipes and put in their beds, and so now my day gets a little easier. And just down here making a video for you tonight. Going to do some Q&A. A couple weeks ago, I talked about doing a video to answer some questions that I started to get in comments, and got a really great response. A lot more than I thought I probably would have ended up getting through YouTube and Twitter and even Xbox Live. So I'm going to pick a handful of interesting ones, and that's what we're up to tonight. So before I get going on that, just to give you a quick channel update. Working on a Dick in a Box parody this week. Finishing up pre-production. I pretty much got the lyrics done. I'll probably start recording it on Tuesday. Depending on my free time, it'll probably go up on Thursday or Friday. So look out for that. After that, I'm going on vacation for a week. So I leave next Monday next Monday morning for Cape Cod, which is where I grew up actually. So I rented a cottage down there. Going to take the wife and kids down for a week, go sit on the beach and hang out. So things might be. Look at this, dude. Just switch to your other weapon. I mean, I run a law in this, so it wouldn't have been a practical weapon for that exchange. But fucking dude's trying to no-scope me. Just fucking pull out your Makarovs and kill me already. So yeah, I'm gonna go down on the beach and hang out with the family for a week. So I don't know. I might try to use the scheduler for the first time so I can get some stuff up to you guys while I'm gone. But it might be a little quiet while I'm on vacation. I'm going to bring my iPhone, but I'm not even going to bring a laptop. I want to unplug because for anyone who knows what I do, I manage an online retail business, and I do that 7 days a week. So for me, a vacation is sitting on the beach with no internet access and just unplugging like completely. So that's what I'm up to. But let's get to Q&A. So the first question is from Mr. Blackout, and he's actually a commentator. He's a friend of mine. I just sort of met him. Really great guy, and just a theater mode ninja. Amazing stuff. Like, you know, he's not quite as popular as Vertical, but he's every bit as good as Vertical. Both of those guys are amazing. They're where it's at as far as theater mode goes. I don't know. There might be some guys we've never heard of who are better, but those two are the best I've seen. But anyway, he had a pretty cool question. He asked, "What's your favorite song?" So for a guy like me who's, you know, pretty much all about music, that's a pretty big question for me. And the answer I think might be a little surprising. My favorite song or my favorite piece of music isn't even in the rock category. It's not rock, it's not jazz, it's not even done on traditional rock instruments. It's a classical piece, and it is Samuel Barber's Adagio for Strings, Opus number 11. And the first time I heard it, I think I was about 11. I think that's when the movie Platoon came out. It was 86 or 87. So I don't know. I was 11. I think it was 11 or 12. And it was the first time music sort of affected me in a way that almost made me uncomfortable. Not because I felt bad, but just I don't know, the level it hit me on was something I hadn't really felt yet. And I think it was probably pretty important in developing my desire to pursue learning instruments and getting into music, because I wanted to explore that feeling that I had. And I sort of figured out a few years later that playing an instrument might be the way to do it, or the way to feel it again. So that piece of music is so beautiful to me and meaningful. It feels like it's sort of like a soundtrack to my life. I've listened to it all through ever since then. And I remember having the VCR, the VHS tape of Platoon, and just watching it so I could hear that song. So that's it. Next question is from Audio Worm, and this is via Twitter, and he says, "What was life like 7,000 years ago?" So at the crusty old age of 36, I'm labeled a YouTube old timer, which feels so weird, and that's kind of why I picked this question, is just so I could tell you guys like how strange it feels to have people, the majority of people sort of, say you're an old guy, right? I mean, I know what the demographic of my subscribers is. Most of you guys are between 18 and 22, which is awesome. I mean that's pretty much one of the most badass ages of your life right there. But you guys will be surprised how quick you get to be into your 30s, man. And you know what? You really don't feel like an old guy. I don't feel any older than I did at 21 years old, to be honest. But you asked the question. So life 7,000 years ago, there was no internet. There were no cell phones. Pubic hair was larger, and we stayed out. We played outside. It was this weird thing called playing outside. And when you got done from school, you went outside and played with your friends and rode bikes and did silly shit, and you stayed out until the sun went down. I don't know if people do that anymore. Most people, I don't think they really do that much anymore. I wish I could do it more. I'm hardly ever outside anymore. Now that I have kids, I've gotten to sort of get back into being outside. But man, that's what we did. We just went outside. There was, we played a little Nintendo, 8-bit Nintendo, or Atari even, going way back. And we went outside and played. So life 7,000 years ago. Next question is from Will R. Malm. That's via Twitter. And he's asking, who's my favorite artist at the moment? That's a pretty cool question. I guess I'm just going to open up iTunes and look at recent plays here. What do we got? I guess according to iTunes, my favorite artist right now is Jeff Buckley. That's what's been getting the most plays in iTunes. So if you haven't heard of Jeff Buckley, check him out. He was a singer-songwriter, came up in the 90s and died really tragically. He drowned while he was working on his second record. So his first record is really all we really have. It was called Grace. And it's just one of the most incredible albums I've ever heard. Guy was so amazing. His voice was so awesome. His songs were so incredible. Just can't say enough good stuff about him. And go check him out if you don't know who he is already. Jeff Buckley, amazing. Next question is from OMG Black Jesus, and this was via comment section. And he asked two questions. The one I picked, though, was why do you always use ice camo and a reflex sight? And I don't know, I guess it's just sort of my thing, I think most people have camo schemes that they run most of the time, just to sort of personalize things, for themselves. I think COD Elite's really going to help us kick that up to the next level. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to be able to do, but it sounds like we're going to be able to do a lot. But since there's not much we can do now other than face paint and camo, I always run ice. And the reflex sight, I sort of started playing with it in my, over on PS3 in my first Prestige, and I just kind of liked it. I know it doesn't really change anything about magnification or anything like that, but it just sort of felt right for me. And I know a lot of people complain about, it obscures a bit more of your view than a red dot does because of the housing assembly. But I don't know. I guess in some double or triple spray opportunities it might get in the way, but most of the time, you shouldn't be that far off your target where you're going to lose them in the housing. So I don't know. I just got used to it and I like it, so I just kind of run it all the time. Sort of my thing, bro. Okay, next question's from another commentator and a friend of mine, Wilfred Brimley. And he's asking, what was the hardest instrument to learn, and which one do you derive the most pleasure from playing? The hardest instrument to learn for me comes to me right away. That's vocals. I'm still trying to get good at singing. I still don't feel like I'm a good singer at all. All the other instruments, I'm not going to say they came easy. They didn't come that hard, but they just sort of felt right and comfortable to me. But singing, at least, being sort of correct with pitch and being comfortable with it, to not have to worry about it, didn't exactly come as natural as I sort of maybe thought it would. So that's the hardest instrument for me, is just not necessarily expressing myself with my voice, but just being accurate and on pitch with it, just because I have a really good ear, and so I kind of hear every little mistake that I make, and I make them often in singing, so it's almost painful for me to hear myself sing. The instrument that I derive the most pleasure from is going to be the drums. That's the instrument my first instrument, so it's sort of my first musical love, and it's the instrument that I'm the most competent on, so therefore I'm the most comfortable, and so I feel like I can express myself the best through the drums. So that would be the one that I sort of have the most fun playing. I can sort of relax and just kind of shut my mind off and just play with drums. I don't even really have to think about it anymore. So I guess that's gonna wrap it up. Well, actually, you know what? There's one more question. I'm gonna throw up a little clip of something just to take us through. I think we're at about 11 minutes here, so I got a couple minutes, so we'll do one more question. This is from XX Immortal, and he asks, are you currently in a live band? So no, I'm not. I haven't actually had a live band that gigged in quite some time. It's been a number of years, probably like 5 or 6. So working every day, and then I met my wife, and then next thing you know, I have a kid, and the next thing you know, now I have another kid on the way. So at this point in my life, it's just really not easy for me to do like a live band type of thing. I don't really have any time on nights. My situation's a little tougher than normal, so it's a little harder to sort of just bail out on my wife. And the other reason why is just I'm sort of the guy in the band who's usually maybe writing a lot of the songs or just really involved in it. So it's hard for me to just sort of be in a band casually. I sort of need to be 100% into it or not at all. So I guess the closest thing I could compare myself to, and I'm not trying to say I'm anywhere near as talented as him, but it's like 9 Inch Nails, right? So Trent Reznor is 9 Inch Nails. It's just one guy, and he writes all the music, and he usually performs all the instruments in the studio, engineers it, mixes it, just does everything himself. And then when he needs to go out and tour, he has musicians who come in and then play his parts, and they do a live band thing, right? So that's kind of like what I do. I have this studio down here, and I have I know how to play drums and bass and guitar and keys, and I can sing, and I record all my music. I know how to mix and engineer. So I just I have this room down here in my basement, and I just do everything myself, and it's sort of been my lifelong dream to do that, to become competent enough at different instruments to allow me to do that, and to have the equipment to be able to put it all down so that people can hear it. And that's really what this channel is kind of all about. The gameplay is a huge part of it, but the music part is just as important. And I'm just really starting to scratch the surface of what I can do. And hopefully you guys are going to start seeing a lot more of that. I've got a video coming up where we're going to do just that. So I think that's enough for this episode. Thanks for checking it out. Hope everybody had a great day today. If you're not from the United States, I hope you had a great plain summer Monday. And so look for Dick in a Box this week. Thanks a lot, guys, for all your support. And we'll be talking to you soon, man. Take care.